now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right, Shabbat shalom, Yasharallah.
Khan, Shabbat shalom, Yasharallah.
Yes, sir. I pray that you all are having a blessed Shabbat.
That's right.
On this holy and blessed day.
Khan.
Israel got a special treat for you. We're going to do something. We try to do this. We try to do this once in a blue moon or very so often. Is that we're going to have an open forum. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to show you anybody. We're going to be dealing with these camp doctrines, and one of the biggest one is mixing. All right, because we should all know by now. We've been in this faith for a while. We should know that mixing outside of Israel is an abomination.
God, bring it out.
And it's not. We are not to be doing that, Israel. And even and it's crazy because this was taught back in the 50s. This was taught by our grandma. All right, our granddad told us, "Hey, stick with your own race." But you got these camps, these ABC camps. It's like they got the first three tribes black. They still don't have the locations right, but then they got everybody else white, heathens. And they're the main folks pushing the intermingling of marriages with heathens. That's dangerous, Israel. And so we're gonna take you through some things. Brother Eitan is gonna take us away with Ezra. He's gonna show you some things in there. But while we're doing that, Israel, we want you to start generating questions. We want to open up this forum. So if we have any camp brothers that's on the feed right now, or that's going to come on the feed, and we'll try to put it in the comment box. We want you to start generating your questions. If you feel like you want to come on and defend this chart, if you feel like this chart is biblically sound, we want you to come on and produce your calls. All right. We want you to come on if you believe this chart is accurate and it's heavily in concordance with the Bible. We want you to come on and try to prove your case. Now here's what we're asking. All right, let me take this back off right quick. Now we want you to prove to us according to Isaiah 11:11, where it lists the locations of where the tribes, where everybody is going to be gathered from. All right, when you read Isaiah 11:11, I'll just read that real quick.
Bring it out.
Feel free to jump in anytime you want, man.
It
It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So that means that if he's recovering the remnant of his people, that means that these people or his children that are scattered are still in these places that the scriptures is getting ready to list. All right, so recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria. And we'll look those up later, and we can show you what modern day Assyria is. Most of y'all probably know already. And from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, all right, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Now, if you look at that chart they got, there's not one single location in Isaiah 11:11 that's listed on that chart. That right there off the back, Israel, should tell you that chart is BS. Right? If anybody, like Carly, if anybody in any camps that can come on and prove the fact that chart matches up with the locations of Isaiah 11:11, have them come on. Up for the challenge. All right. So again, as you brothers are generating your questions, feel free to come on. We're going to put the link in the box, all right, so that you all can start generating the question. But remember, we have a rule. So when you do come on, make sure you show your face backstage. Now, nobody else is going to see you. Me and Brother Eitan will be the only ones that'll see you. But we got to make sure you're Israel. All right. You show your face, and then when we bring you on, then you can, hide the camera, whatever you want to do. You got to verify.
Right. Something else I want to do too, right? I want you to send a picture in. Send a picture. You don't have to send a picture of yourself, but you can just show us if you want to, I don't mind. Just show us what you and your fringes on, right? So we're gonna make a collage of all the brothers and sisters with their fringes on, and then we're gonna post it on the channel. All right, or I might even make a new intro with a lot of the brothers and the sisters that I know, that are on this channel, they're wearing their fringes, right? So if y'all want to, the email is mindofthebrotherhood@gmail.com, right? Go ahead and send us a picture of you and your fringes on, and we'll go ahead and get you posted up on the channel.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea because Israel, that encourages everyone too. So that right there should be motivation too. It's like you all been with us for like how long? Y'all been with us for a while, ever since we started. There should not be one person. I'll put it this way: there should not be one subscriber that don't have their fringes. And and we're not saying that to be harsh or anything like that, Israel. But you got to understand, when the Most High says, "Love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul," that's part of it. All right, it's a command. It's not a hey, I'll do it when I feel like it, or I'm just gonna wear them my heart and knowledge. Israel. That don't work. You must wear your fringes. We are told why. Why are we told to wear our fringes? So that we can remember and look upon. Matter of fact, you know what? I see now you got me started out.
Come on, man, bring it out, up.
Let's go there right quick. Let's let the word explain it. All right, so let's just go to Numbers. And while I'm pulling it up, y'all, and if you can't find a sewing machine, or if you never sew before, you got people that can sew and everything. All right.
God, man, give me a man. What is going on with this? There we go. Finally, good gracious.
What's going on?
Now I was having a problem getting my decks up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it up now though.
All right, so let's look at this right quick. And I know this is a little off subject, but it's good to bring this out. So this is Numbers 15, starting with verse 37, and it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations." All right. So garments throughout their generation means that as long as the seed of Israel is still in existence, we must wear our fringes. It says, "And that they put upon them the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue." Why blue? And we can get into the details later, because blue represents obedience. Blue was used in the tabernacle a lot to represent obedience. Verse 39, "And it shall be unto you a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember," and what? "And remember all the commandments of the Lord." See, this is the whole purpose, Israel. So it's to keep us in focus. It's always to keep us in constant righteousness, so that we don't have time to think about wickedness. "And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord." Not just outwardly, but inwardly in your mind. So you don't sin in your mind. You got your fringes on. You're not thinking about some wicked stuff or some thirsty stuff, and do them, and that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye use to go on. So there's a purpose with fringes. It's the power in them, Israel. It's to keep us on the straight and narrow. All right. It's not hard. His laws are not grievous. You just have to do it. "That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God." It says, "And I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am the Lord your God." So Israel, if we were really truly keeping the laws with all our heart, mind, and soul, we wouldn't even, I'm gonna be honest with you, we wouldn't even be in the situation that we're in now. It would be well, but as the word says, our people are stiff-necked people, and a lot of people gonna have to just learn the hard way. So
another reason too, right, why it's a good thing for you guys to rock those fringes is because how we're gonna this is how we can tell apart, right? If I'm looking at a brother and I know he's not really got them fringes on, right, I know he's not really in the truth like that. I know he's not really trying to keep them commandments, and so I really shouldn't really be dealing with that brother. However, this doesn't go to the same thing where we're talking about, witnessing to your people and then getting your brother to understand about these laws, statutes, and commandments and who they are as a people. Now, if you're in the truth and you're rooted and grounded, right, you need to have them fringes on, right? Because how else would another brother or sister out there know that you keep the commandments, right?
Exactly.
Like this is how we heal the community. I know we're always, ranting and raving about pookies and ray-rays and whores and harlots, right? But this is even in our repentant state, right? If we're repenting, right, we need to be keeping these commandments. Therefore, you know, if I see a sister that's, you know, that's out there and she has a, you know, her fringes on, right? I know the sister's over here trying to keep the commandments. She ain't about no folly or nothing like that. So, man, hey, you know, we don't have a problem with conversing or trying to help somebody out that's actually our brothers and sisters, right? Just like Hamashiach said, his brothers and sisters, right, are those that keep the commandments, right? Because I can't trust the next man if I see if this next man doesn't believe in that he should treat his brother as he want to treat himself. Like, I don't know if y'all boys saw this, but a little while ago, right, there was this what was that dude's name? The dude off of IUIC. I don't know, whoever the camp leader is over there, right? This dude, you know, he came in on some horse, right? Draped with gold. Right? Draped with gold, you know what I'm saying? All kind of crazy stuff, right? Now, one of the main commandments that the Hamashiach left was to treat your brother as you want to be treated, right? So what does that mean? That means that if he truly believed in the commandments, he wouldn't be the only one up on them horse. He'll have all his brothers up on the horses, right? He'll have every single one of those brothers up on the horses riding with them, because it is a sin to be a respecter of persons, right? I'm not going to treat Brother Daniel no better than I will the next brother that's keeping the commandments, so forth and so on, because we're not respecter of persons up here, right? We treat every brother equally.
And it's clear in the scriptures, you know, the scripture says that, you know, we should not, you know, the children, we should not be inheritance over the children of Israel. You know, when you got one man lifted up above another like that, you know, he ride up on a horse and everything. I mean, that's self-glorification. And the name of the person we were talking about was the guy they called Bishop Nathaniel, the head of the UIC. Right. But yeah, Israel. But as far as the fringes goes too, you know, bottom line, it's all obedience to the Most High. Because, you know, he says, "If you love me, keep my commandments."
God.
All right. This is not our words. This is the words of Mashiach, and there's a powerful love behind that. You know, I enjoy one of my fringes. I'm not saying that in a bragging way, but it's a really blessing, Israel, because you are set apart. We are a set apart people, and if we are a set apart people, but we don't live like a set apart people, then how do you expect anybody, like Brother Eitan said, how do you expect anybody to know if you're keeping the laws or not? You know, yeah, you can be claiming to be awakened and everything, and you know, in the Shabbat, that's all good. But when you're out and about, nobody can tell because you're dressed like everybody else.
God.
What is going to determine you or distinct you from everybody else? And fringes are one of them, because you can't tell me that fringes blend in with everybody else. They don't. They're very distinct.
All right, Israel. Right here, right, we have the link inside the chat, right? So if you want to come on and state your cause, right, and what we mean by that is that you know, today we're going to be breaking down, you know, any kind of misconception about this 12 chart, right, of this 12 tribes chart. If you believe that the 12 tribes chart include anyone other than so-called Negroes, please come on and state your chart. Please come on and state your cause, right? So we can go ahead and we can have a respectful discourse, right, through the scriptures, right? And so we can prove which one's real and which one's not, right? That's all that we want to do. But then, you know, while we're going through this, I guess Brother Daniel and myself will be going through various scriptures, you know, for y'all that don't know where to go to in the scriptures to find these type of things, like as far as like mixing is concerned, or, you know, let's say, for example, how they got, you know, Mexicans are being, you know, part of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, all this folly and foolishness, right? So, you know what? Let me get something in the scriptures first, right?
And before you do that, you're saying that with everything in relation to what you're saying, Israel, make sure, you know, you all are building these precepts, because, you know, anytime we do this lesson every Friday night, this would be a good time to write those. Get your a notepad or whatever. You have some flashcards or whatever, and just start building the precepts off the scriptures we give and everything, and just start adding other scriptures to it as you go along, because, you know, that's the only way that you're going to really get it. You don't have to rehearse it. Now, as far as you all coming on, now we don't mind the fellowship and everything, but, you know, for those who want to prove this chart to be right, I really want them to come on first so that we can pretty much, show them, and so they can try to produce their calls. And then maybe after that, if anybody wants to come on and just fellowship, it's cool. You don't mind, but we do want to get anyone who wants to know this chart right. So.
Okay, right. First things first, right? Right. The scriptures. Well, this is where I'm going to go. I'm sure. I'll leave it up to Brother Daniel to pick another spot we'll go to next. Right. No. Put that chart back on the board.
Right.
Con. Right. Okay. Right. The Bible. Right. The book. This is our instructional book. This is our history book. It has every single thing that we need in it to discern lies, right? Unclean spirits, demons, and the most important, the truth. Right. This book has it all. All we have to do is pick it up and read it. It's not the same thing like, a lot of these camps, what they do, they have preconceived programs for you to go through, and this precept to study this precept, and they're not letting the Spirit of the Most High lead them. Right. They're doing the same thing essentially that you was doing when you were in Sunday school, right? In the Christian church. They're doing the exact same thing, right? What they're doing, they're cherry picking out the good parts, right? And then leaving out the parts that they don't want to read. So today, right, we're going to prove that what they say does not make sense, right? So let's start off today. Let's say, for example, right, if you look at that chart right there, it says the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Now, this is the chart, right, that all the what we call the so-called camps, what they go by, right? They say that Judah is the American blacks, Benjamin is the West Indian blacks, Levi are the Haitians, right? Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans, Manasseh is the Cubans, Simeon is the Dominicans, Zebulon is the Guatemala to Panama or the Mayans, Gad is the Native Americans, the Indians. I don't know how that could be when they're actually Hamites. Reuben, right? Seminole Indians, Asher, Colombia to Uruguay, the Incas, Issachar is the Mexicans, aka the Aztecs, and the Naphtali, Argentina versus Chile. Right. So what we're going to pick out first, right, is I want to deal with Judah. Right. We're going to deal with Judah, very top. And it says Judah, the American blacks. Right. And then we're going to skip all the way down to where it says Issachar. Right. Y'all see who the name there is beside Issachar? It says the Mexicans, aka the Aztecs. Right. Now, let's go ahead and what we're going to do, we're just going to simple logic, right? This is not going to take, a whole bunch of brain cells to determine if that chart is true. Now, remember look up there on the chart. On the chart, we see that the Judah is the American blacks, right? And Issachar are the so-called Mexicans. Now, right? The Most High, he didn't create any miracles like he did Jacob and Esau or anything like that. So let's read, right? It says the sons of Leah. Now, Leah had one husband, and that was Jacob, right? She had one husband, and his name was Jacob, right? So I don't know about the rest of you, right? But I know that throughout the whole world, if one man, a husband and a wife of the same nation, they get together, right? The only other races of children they can make is their own children, right? We always talk about how, somebody may have like 3 or 4 or 5 babies, right? If you got 3 or 4 or 5 babies, guess what? They all look like so-called Negroes, right? There's never going to be a time where all of a sudden, unless it's some kind of genetic mutation. But we see here that God is dealing with the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is the beginning. So I'm absolutely positively sure there was no kind of genetic deforms here, because number one, we never read about it in the scriptures, other than Jacob and Esau. We know that he came out red all over and he was hairy as hell, right? All right, so as we read here, we say the sons of Leah, Reuben, right? So Reuben, let's look on this chart real quick, right? Let's bring this chart right back up. Slakia, right? Let's bring this chart. Reuben, let's see what they say Reuben is. Reuben is Seminole Indians. All right, interesting, right? They say that was Jacob's firstborn. Simeon, right? Let's go to Simeon. Let's see what he looks like. Simeon, they got the Dominicans, right? The Dominicans is Simeon. Levi, right? Levi are the Haitians. Now that looks totally different, right? Than Dominicans or what is that? The Native Americans? Slakia. Simeon looks totally different than Reuben and Slakia. Levi looks totally different from Simeon and Reuben, right? So now we're going to go to Judah. It says Judah are the American blacks. And we got Issachar, right? What is Issachar? The Mexicans, right? And then we got Zebulon, Guatemala to Panama, the Mayans. What I find interesting is that we know for a fact that all of those children had to look the same, right? All of them had to look like the same race, period, right? You're not going to be able to tell me too also, right? And we're also going to cover this if Brother Daniel doesn't have anything to bring out. We see that Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulon, right? All of them look damn different. Besides really Levi and Judah, right? But the rest of them look like a totally different nation. Right?
Let's look at this right quick. So here's what they have in these charts. So when you look at all these people are pretty much white people. They're Caucasians, right? They're not close to even being Negroes. Now, when you look at Mexico, when you look at all these other countries, you do have Negroes that are there, but they don't look nothing like this. They look like me and Brother Aton. They look like you all, right? They look just like us. And why is it that you got a Chinese food, right? Everybody knows what a Chinese person looks like. Now, if you put a black person, so-called Israelite, over in Chinese, is he gonna look Chinese? Can you say that brother is Chinese? Hell no. So you can't. Every Chinese look like their own people. Mexicans look like their own people. Koreans look like their own people. Japanese, I can tell Japanese from a Chinese person, right? The Japanese have they have shorter, they have features that are distinct from Chinese people. All right, but the Japanese people look like Chinese people. Hamites look like Hamites. Right, but when it comes to us, when it comes to Negroes, all of a sudden we look like everybody else. We're supposed to be everybody. We're white, we're Hamites, we're everything.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass a common sense test, because when you really think about it, how can you say that the Negroes is every other race but themselves? All right, every nation on earth looks like their own people.
So Israel, I want to ask you a question, right? We see that Judah here is American blacks, and we see that Issachar are the Mexicans, right? Can anyone, I want you to put in the comment section. I don't care if you come on, hit the link and come on, right? Can anyone tell me how it's possible for Judah to be the American blacks and Issachar to be the Mexicans, and they had both the same father and mother?
Right.
That doesn't. I mean, like, come on, y'all. This is simple, right? You can go to the scriptures, and this is very simple. No other nation, no other period no other nation period has had that ever happen. She got 4 sons. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sons. Salakia, right? She got 6 sons, and only 2 of them look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of them, they all come out different looking, straight hair, all kind of what is that? Recessive genes. That's not going to happen to the children of the Most High. Straight hair is a recessive gene. That is a recessive gene, which means a damaged gene. This is why when you get with the so-called, when we have these mixtures among our nation, when they sleep with the heathen that have a straight hair, the hair comes out curly. Why? It's because it's correcting the damaged gene. That's why it comes out curly, right? That is a curly hair, right? Non-ether hair, the kind that so-called Negroes do, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of Hamites have it as well, right? That non-ether, that is the original design, right? That is not a recessive gene. That is a dominant gene, meaning that it is a undamaged gene. You gotta, what I'm saying? Somebody got to explain that to me, right? Somebody got to explain why they are pushing this chart, and we know that this is wicked as hell. The Most High does not deal with mixtures of people.
And let's look at the slave trade, okay? And here's another cut. All right, from the Arab slave trade, which was known as the sub-Saharan slave trade, and then on the backs of came the transatlantic slave trade. Not one Israelite lost its seed throughout the whole process. Now, granted, you had some of our people who were raped, all right, but even with that, you can tell a distinct difference, because, like Brother Akan said, when they were born, they were males, so there's a distinct difference. All right. They got back after the 3rd generation. But Israel has not lost its complexion. It has not lost its race since the beginning of time. All right, Israelites were always Negroes, and they still are Negro today. That's why, like when you go into other places, other countries, you're going to see people that look just like us, look just like us, not these Caucasian people that these camps are telling you are Israelites. They're not even close to being the bloodline, right? Let's say, okay, let's just say they like to use this too. Let's just say, okay, they started off black at one time. Like for example, San Luis Negros in Mexico, where Gaspayenga, beat all them Spaniards and everything. Yeah, they were a lot of more black, but a lot of them mixed with the locals, and a lot of them ended up whitewashing out. All right, but once they do that, they're not our people, because now they have been washed out. But the ones who didn't wash out still look like us. They are still Negroes, and they are still over their day. And they just now getting their census as of 2020. I mean, that's crazy, because all this time they've been over there, but the country of Mexico did not acknowledge them as Mexican citizens. Why? Because they are Negroes. And everywhere you go, you're going to see Afro, like Colombians. You go to Cuba, or you probably can't go there without some kind of. But anyway, they have Afro brothers that look like us in Cuba. All throughout South America, they got people that look just like us, woolly hair, nappy. Right? Russia, Germany. I was in Germany, and I've seen a lot of people that look like us, exactly like us. Even when I was in Iraq, I've seen Iraqis that look just like us, Israel, beard, everything. I'm like, wow, you look like a regular American dude.
Right. Now, a lot of this stuff stems from the doctrine of you are who your father is, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how they try to get you in, right? They got all these weird looking people in their camp, right? All these heathens that are in their camp, because they say that you are what your father is, right?
In fact, let's go there right quick, man. Let's explain that.
Okay, come, yeah, bring that out first before I go 15, here.
15,
bring that out in numbers.
Numbers 15.
I think so. All right. Well, while Brother Daniel's bringing that out, right? That's where this doctrine started. Well, I'm gonna say started, but this is what it's rooted in. This is how they're able to make it. You ever heard them say, "Oh, you're a chocolate-covered Edomite," or they try to say that these people, this person might look white or whatever, but they had a black father, right? Oh yeah, man, you're an Israelite, right? The scriptures, this is an abomination, right? We've already read in Jubilees 30, right, that it is an abomination to lie down with the heathen. Right, it's something that God, abominable is something that you hate vehemently, right? Mm-hmm. So the Most High, He hates, absolutely hates, if you lay down with the damn heathen, right? Imagine, so if you're doing that act in itself and it's abominable, what makes you think that if you have a child of an abominable act, that is some kind of way turns out to be a child of God? Does that make sense, Israel? So is it true that you are what your father is? Right? You got it out?
Yep, Numbers 1:18. Give me a second here. Let me bring that up.
Con. All right. That stuff is impossible. There's no amount of tomfoolery that can have one believe in that. You can't be yourself. Go ahead, brother. Bring that out.
All right, so let's look at and see what we're talking about, because this is what the camps like to use, and they'll stop at this verse. They won't even go no further than this.
God.
All right, so it says, and Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. Okay, so whatever tribe your father was, that's your wife, your kids. That's, for example, if you was a tribe of Judah, all right, your sons and daughters are going to be Judah. Your wife's going to be Judah, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Now, here's the key right here. Why is it saying from 20 years old and upward by their polls? Well, let's find out, because the scriptures is clear as day. It's going to tell us why they're looking at these numbers. Verse 19, as Lord commanded Moses. So he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai, and the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by the generation after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war.
Read that last part again. Read that last
I'm
part
read the whole
again.
thing again. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go to forth to war. So this was what this was all about. It has nothing to do with damn marrying or getting with a heathen woman and then talking about that's your seed. This was talking about war, Israel. It was gathering up, getting the numbers of sons that was 20 years and upwards prepared for war. Now the only exception if a child or son could not go to war is if he had just gotten married. He was supposed to have like a year off to be with his wife, his new spouse and everything. That was the only exception. But other than that, 20 years and upward, every male from the house of their fathers
now
be in the military.
Right, when it says in verse 18, which is their very favorite verse to use, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, right? That's really simple there, right? Why would a heathen be included in their period, right?
Exactly.
You're deep in Israel, right? You're not focusing on any heathens are in there or their pedigrees. If any heathens were in the camp, they were slaves, right? So he didn't have a pedigree. He was whatever all the heathens that were around about us, those are where we plucked from, and we bought them when we kept them in our family for decades on end. Right? The things that we did here is talking about, let's say, for example, like Brother Daniel was explaining earlier, if the father was a Benjamite, right, and just so happened he happened to marry a woman that was from Judah, right? He married a woman that was from Judah, and the husband, he was a Benjamite. That means by the pedigree of their fathers that the son is going to fight on the side, right? In the cluster of Benjamites, right? The war team that was Benjamites. Then you had a war team that was Asher. Then you had a war team that was Judah, so forth and so on, right? If my dad, whatever my dad is, that's the camp that I go to and fight in. But this is among the Israelite nations. It doesn't matter if you're a damn heathen. Right? It doesn't, that doesn't come into play at all. Right? Because why would I be, a woman or a man? Why did that matter? And it says in the scriptures that if a woman slept with slept with one of our people, they'll get burned to death. Right? What about any of these heathen women out here? It never says in the scriptures talking about the pedigree of the father. It's just talking about if it's intermarriage between tribes.
So let's look at this. This is going to give you further evidence too. So if you absolutely want to be sure that you're not supposed to take up a heathen woman, and it doesn't matter, you as long as you're the male and you can marry a heathen, no, the scriptures is totally against that. Let's look at Tobit 4:12. It says, "Beware." Can y'all see that? Can you see that up there, brother?
God, I can see it.
Okay. It says, "Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers." Do you see anywhere where it says take a heathen?
The seed of thy fathers.
What does it say, brother? Do you see anywhere where it says that we can go out and take up some heathen?
No, as a matter of fact, it says beware of all whoredom.
It says, "Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife."
No, take a strange woman to wife.
Not take a strange woman to wife. Y'all hear that, Israel? And take not a strange woman to wife. You got these camps out here forcing and pushing this intermingled marriage. Now they're having babies. It's an abomination. They're creating mamsers. Got mamsers sitting up in the camp.
Right. Notice how the first one says, chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, right? Then it says, which is not of thy fathers, meaning Jacob's tribe, right? We are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Man, man, you can't get no clearer than that. My bad. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yep, which is not of that father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets. Know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred. Their own kindred. So so where are you getting this stuff from where it's okay to marry heathens? Now I'm gonna tell you where they try to justify that. And Deuteronomy, is it Deuteronomy 21 or 20, where it talks about where when Israel went to war, they were allowed to get the heathens.
Yeah.
But that Israel, you were never ever supposed to. They were supposed to be servants, not your wives, equals. They were supposed to be servants, slaves. That was the whole purpose. That was only during war, spoils of war. All right, we are in captivity, Israel. We are under the thumb of the heathen, and we are not to be mingling whatsoever with these people.
Go to Deuteronomy 21. All right. You can start at verse 1. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's go. Go down some.
You want to start out?
Go down some a little bit. No. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Verse
No, that's good. I want to start it down. 8 is okay, right?
Okay.
It says, "Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and not Salakia, and lay not innocent blood unto the people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So shalt you put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's where it kicks up. Verse 10. It says, "When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies." We are not going forth to war against the enemies. Right? Let's make this clear. It says, like, this is the stipulation right here. The stipulation starts, Khan, right?
All right.
Oh, Khan, right? So the stipulation starts is that when you go us forth to war, that's the beginning. That's how you begin it at all. We're not going to war. We haven't been to war, and I don't know when. We ain't been doing nothing but getting our ass whooped and been put in chains and been robbed, murdered, right? And
the last war, the last official war we had, was the Maccabean War. We ran the damn Greeks out.
Khan. Since then, we ain't been to war, right? It says, "When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails," right? Cut your hair and then cut your nails, right? Hey, scroll up some up.
Okay.
Con.
Why do you think she had to shave her hair?
Yeah, make sure she didn't have any weapons in there trying to stab him or, trying to get revenge.
But not only that though, but think about it. Now, an Israelite woman's hair is their beauty, right? When you take away that hair, you put shame on them. So they cannot, that was a way to guarantee you that there is no way that woman can be equal to the Israelite woman.
Con. Right, it says, "And she shall put on the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and mother for a full month. And after that, you shall go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her." Right? Because thou hast humbled her. We're not doing anything like that these days, Israel. You're not going over there, taking over whole nations of people, and then taking the virgin women and making them wives. You're not doing that. That is not what we're doing. So there should be no excuses at all for our people to be trying to marry other women, right? Or trying to say that, anything like that, or the children from the women can be Israelites.
You see, this is what they use, Israel. We're just telling you all that so you can know how to arm yourself. This is the verse that they use to try to justify marrying heathens, knowing good and well that we're not in wartime. We're not even a nation.
God. Only thing we doing is marching in the streets, and that ain't done, and that ain't done a damn good, right? Let's go back. All right.
All right. I'm gonna see if anybody. I'm surprised that we haven't had any takers on this.
Yeah, most of these folks, they know the truth.
Yeah.
I'd come to the
I was
conclusion.
thinking maybe we had some campers online or something. Some secret stowaways or something. That's just some agents or something. On or something.
All right. So let's see. Right now, we saw before that we was reading right where they try to say that Brother Daniel and I was breaking down over there in Numbers, right? How they were trying to tell you that, oh, it's the pedigree of the father, meaning that, right, kind of like, oh man, whoever a black man sleeps with or whoever Israelite man sleeps with, no matter what race they are, the children turns out to be an Israelite, right? Let's see if this happens, right? It says, right, this is First Ezra, right, chapter 8. Now we're gonna go to also the regular Ezra 9, 9 and 10, or 8, 9 and 10, or we'll go over some scriptures in there as well too, right? But it says, starting at verse 69, First Ezra 8, it says, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollution of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. What does iniquity mean? Right? When you break that down, iniquity is just another word for sin. Right? So if it says that these men were sleeping with all these women, right, from these other nations, right, and it is a sin to do so, what makes you think that those children are going to be Israelites? That makes no sense. How can you get Judah as being the black, the black man, the American black on the chart? How can you get Judah as being the American black on the chart and Issachar being Mexicans when they both had the same father and mother? Oh man, you can't come with a lie and said, they had mixed you up and doing stuff like that, because that's not in the scriptures, right? The scriptures say that it was a sin, it was iniquity to do that in the first place, right?
I mean, common sense, and I hate when people do that, that comes from the heathen stuff, because they'll say anybody who has if an Israelite brother marries a white woman and has a baby, everybody consider that baby black. I wish people would stop doing that stuff, because the baby is not black. All right, it's a new breed of race that you created through race mixing. If you take a male pet bull and a female German Shepherd and you mated them, is that pup going to be a full-blooded pet bull? Absolutely not. The seed line works the same. All right. And Israel, if people think that our seed, just because you're getting with the heathens and that's still an Israelite, the Bible speaks totally against that stuff. Straight up an abomination, because you're creating and this is why it's proven that like a lot of managers, they grew up in life confused, because it's like they're too black for white and too white for black. And those would be the ones that have the most problems. And the sad part about it, it's not even their fault, because it's the fault of their parents. They're creating a different breed of race.
God. All right. So let's skip over to another testament of Ezra, right? And we're gonna read a couple of things where he's saying pretty much the same thing, and I'm gonna go to 10, and I'm gonna show you, right, what happened to the strange women and what happened to the children. I know we might have went over this before, right? But it's important that we go over this kind of stuff again, right? So let's go to Ezra 9. It says, now when these things were done, right? Before I go over to that, right? What sense does it make if you have superior genetics to mix them with inferior genetics? You're just weakening your blood. You're just weakening the line.
That's
right?
mind-boggling.
Y'all don't understand it. Why go after something weaker? It does not make sense, right? If you don't like the sisters and the way they act or attitude or however it is, don't deal with those. Just deal with the feminine. Just deal with the feminine women, and then the rest of the sisters will catch up. Trust me, it works, right? You get on your square, you start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, so these sisters can have trust in brothers. And all these damn Pookies and Ray Rays out here that just destroying our community because I don't want to get on all that, but that's the problem with our community, right? Where we only got each other. That's all we have is each other. That's it. Right? We can't cry to the white man and ask them for this and ask them for that. right? We need to start coming together as a people, right? That's what they killed Martin Luther King for. His last speech, right? He was going to break the dam wide open and be like, you know what? I made a mistake by saying that we should integrate with these damn heathen. Integration is not good for our people. They have decided to fly a homosexual flag before they fly our flag, before they fly a flag of our people. We haven't even asked for a flag. They got that in Congress right now, trying to push that up the ladder. They got a whole month, a whole Pride Month, right?
In June,
right, for homosexuals. This is absolutely insane. If our people don't learn right now that they're never going to do nothing for us, never. It's never going to be a time where these heathens are going to look out for us. They're going to keep you just right on the, you know what I'm saying? They're going to keep you dangling on the carrot. They're never going to give you the carrot though, right? You're going to be always on that hamster wheel. And that's where they're going to take you. You're going to stay on that hamster wheel. The book is Ezra chapter 9, and we're going to start with verse 1. It said, now when these things were done, the princes came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites, right? Because we know what the Egyptians back in our day, right? Back in the days of Moses, right? The Egyptians, the original Egyptians, right? Those are Africans. Those are ancient Africans. Those are the Hamites, right? It says, for they have taken their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the land of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass, right? And look what Ezra did. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and my beard and sat down astonished. Hey, brother Ezra he just couldn't believe that they would mix themselves with inferior genetics, that they were over here messing with these damn heathen. They just didn't believe it. Right? Why would you do that? Man, don't you know, man, our people, we had when Dana had got taken hostage, right, by that wicked ass king that had tried to that sullied her, right?
Yeah, King Shechem
Khan, right? That sullied our sister, right? They made them, right, the whole city, right? They made them circumcise themselves. We were of such strength that only 12 of us came in and slaughtered a whole city. That's the holy seed. That's the holy seed. I went to the dentist the other day, right? I had to get a wisdom tooth pulled. And I got sent to a surgeon, right? You know why? They say that the woman that told me that, she says that black people, they have a different skeletal structure in their mouths, and their bones are tougher and denser than any other nation. We are the holy seed, but yet we continue to mix, continue to mingle, and tell our plans to these damn heathens. Why are we doing this? It makes no sense at all. And now you got these camps up there. They're preaching this false doctrine. They getting you marrying. They got you marrying Mexicans, right? They got you marrying all these
Mexicans, Native Americans, Hispanics,
Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Guatemalans, right? American Indians who are Hamites, right? Who knows? They could be part of Egyptians, right? Because they sure come from the same line, damn near. Seminole Indians, more of them, Incas, Colombia, Uruguay, Mexicans, Argentinians. Come on, man.
Check this out.
They're trying to send you to the bottom of the pit.
Check this out right here. The scriptures for it before you head on forward.
Bring it out.
Here's Baruch 1:4-3. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee a strange nation. Is that clear as day, Israel? That goes in line exactly what Brother Eitan is reading in Ezra. All right. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. Why would you take the most powerful seed and give it to a weaker nation?
Mm.
That's disrespectful. I mean, that's just straight up disrespectful. That's a slap in the face to the Most High Yahweh. All right. If you need a second witness, let's go to
Bring it
Matthew. I'll show you in Matthew where it says it again. All right. Matthew 7:6. Look at that right quick. All right. He's saying this with his own. This is how Mashiach talking here.
Mm.
All right. He says, "Give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you." Remember where it says in Chronicles where the Most High specifically told us, he's quoting his own words. Hamashiach is quoting his own words. He says in Chronicles, "Do not marry into these heathens. They will turn your heart away from the Most High and have you worship their God."
I want to show y'all something, right? Hey, read that first part again. It says, "Give not." Salaki, go ahead.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
Okay, go to Matthew 15. Right, we're going to show you that the other nations are dogs. Right, the Most High is talking about other nations. He said, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs." Right, go to 26. Give not which is holy unto the dogs. Right, right, boom. Right, okay. Let's start at verse 21. Salakia. Right. No, matter of fact, 22. Okay. Right, boom. Right, so behold, it says,
yep. It says, "And behold, a woman."
No, go ahead.
"And behold, a woman of Canaan came out to the same coast and cried."
A woman of who?
A woman of Canaan.
Right. So this is an African woman, right? Yep. Go ahead.
A woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, "Have mercy upon me, O Lord, thou son of David." Now she knew the deal. "My daughter is grievous waxed with a devil." But he answered her not a word.
Now listen, right? You see the type of treatment that Hamashiach is treating these heathen? These are people of the other nations. It says she was crying unto him. So she was hysterical, crying, oh, please, Lord, thou son of David, my daughter got a devil on her. Hey, Hamashiach ignored her. He didn't give a crap. He ignored that woman. This is how you're supposed to treat those heathen. You're not supposed to give them any kind of glory at all. Hamashiach just ignored them. Continue reading, not.
Yeah. All right. Saying, "Have mercy upon me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievous, vexed with a devil." But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, "Send her away, for she cried after us." But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." All right.
That's a cut.
You already know that he's talking about Israel. Scattered children, or during that time, the 10 tribes. All right. It says, "Then came and she worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me." But he answered and said, "It is not meet to take the children's bread." The children's bread. It's not talking about just food. It's talking about the word that was written for Israel. It's not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs.
It cast it to who?
Dogs.
And cast it to who?
To heathens.
So you see, he called that woman a damn dog. So back in Matthew 7, when Brother Daniel was reading about don't cast the pearls of swine, and don't get the stuff that is unholy to dogs. You don't do like these clowns are doing, yelling at the heathens at the end of the street, and you're breaking out and you're talking about the gospel. It's not for them.
No, it's not.
It's for our.
Even then, if you
what happened? I can't hear you.
No, and when you go down further, it says, "But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs." And then I'll read that part, because a lot of people will say, "Well, he didn't." It says, and she said, "True, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumb which fall from their master's table. She already knew. She was less. All right. She already knew that she was a heathen.
She calling herself a damn dog.
No. And then the Mashiach answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. But that just goes to show you how powerful the Mashiach is and everything. Is the prime example. Even though these people are set for destruction, they're heathens, but they've always, from time to time and everything, you never see Hamashiach out there cussing them out like the camps be doing, all this kind of stuff. We're not supposed to be doing that stuff, all right? We're not even supposed to be preaching to these damn people.
Only the time that Hamashiach dealt with this woman is when she had publicly acknowledged that she was a dog, right? And that she was going to eat. She was in her correct position, right? Which was servitude to the max. That's what time it is when Hamashiach comes back and he's going to put these heathen into slavery. It's going to be the same damn thing. This is the only reason why she was even recognized, is because she understood what the hell was going on, right? It's not the same as we do nowadays. These heathen, they look at you, right? Do they think that you're the master at the table, right? When we got 144,000 of our people are going to be ruling along with Hamashiach in the time of the 1,000-year reign. No, they don't look at you like that. They look at you as niggas. That's what they look at you as. Hell, man, sometimes I look at my own people as niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because they doing nigga stuff.
I want to bring out Exodus right quick, because this is in line with what about in this scripture. So Exodus 23. To show you what the words that Mashiach is saying himself. Verse 23 and verse 32. All right. It says, Thou shalt make no covenants with them, nor with their gods. All right, let me start back up in 31. It says, And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistine, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. Israel did totally the opposite, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. We were not supposed to mix with these folks. All right. When that Canaanite lady, acknowledged that she was a dog, and and then she accepted her rightful place.
Salaki Ezra, I know we went off on a tangent here, right? But we're back, right? We're gonna go back to Ezra 9, and just like this is a continuation of what Brother Daniel was just bringing out, right? Proving that we should not be dealing with these folks, or any folks, right? Other than our own people, right? Because we can't come together with the heathen and try to ask, and then come back with the commandments and try to ask the Most High to come see us. We can't cry inside with the same people that have been, rape, robbing, and murdering us.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, I ripped my garment and my mantle, verse 3, right? Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. When I heard this thing, I ripped my garment and my mantle, and the thing he heard, right, if you missed it, was that he heard that the people were messing with these strange women, right? I ripped my garment and mantle and plucked off the hair off my head and of my beard and sat down astonished. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of God. Salakia. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of the God of Israel, because of the transgression of those that have been carried away. And I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice. Don't forget, where were they at? They were in Babylon under King Artaxerxes, right? In Babylon under King Artaxerxes, in a mixed nation. The same thing that we are in right now. The same thing these brothers out here telling you that whatever woman you sleep with, you're going to be able to have an Israelite child. That's a damn lie, right? That is a lie. And then we're going to go ahead and prove it. It says, then were assembled unto me everyone that trembled at the words of the God of Israel, because of the transgression, means sinning, of the sin, right, of those that have been carried away. And I said astonished, those that carried away is those that got carried away unto Babylon, right, the 10 tribes. And I said astonished unto the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice, I rose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread out my hands unto the Lord my God, and said, "Oh my God, I am ashamed to blush to lift up my face to thee, my God. For our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass is grown up unto the heavens." This is how bad it is, Israel. That is a serious infraction of the law to be over here canoodling with these damn heathen, right? So, right, let's go start at Ezra 10. Let's see what else happens, right? And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, "We have trespassed against our God and have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing." Let's see why there's hope. "Now therefore let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord and of those that tremble at the commandment of our God, and let it be done according to the law." Man, I mean, you can't get no. What is it? What's happening? They getting rid of all the mamzer, all the mixed babies. So you can't over here make a whole nation of Issachar and call them Mexicans because you was mixing. That's a lie. They all look the same. You got 4 sisters with one husband. They all gonna look the same. It's not gonna be no 12 tribes of folly. Let's skip on down, right? Because it gives, you know what I'm saying, right here, this talks about, okay, it says, "And the children of the captivity did so. And Ezra the priest, with certain chief of the fathers, after the house of their fathers, and all of them by their names, were separated and sat down in the first day of the 10th month to examine the matter," right? Now, these are all the wicked niggas, right, that had strange wives and bastard children, right? This is them right here. So it just talks about them all. So we're going to skip on down, and we're going to see at the very end, right? Hold on, let me move the screen for a little while. Let me see if I can move this. Come on, right? Here at the very end, it says, "All these taking strange wives, and some of them had wives by whom they had children," right? And what happened to those children? As we see already up here, that he got rid of them. As a matter of fact, man, we can go to hold up, matter of fact, we can go to it's lock here, right? Matter of fact, we can go to let me see. I think it's First Ezra. Yeah, I was already in First Ezra. What was it? I think it's in 9. There we go. Right. First Ezra chapter 9. Right. This is the same lot of wicked niggas that we just saw in Ezra chapter 10. Right. So, you know, the same situation. And it says, "And Ezra and the priests chose unto them the principal men of their families, all by name. And in the first day of the 10th month, they sat together to examine the matter." The exact same thing that we just got done reading in Ezra chapter 10, right? "So the cause that held strange wives was brought to an end in the first day of the month," right? So, brothers, you can't be marrying no white women. You can't have no Mexican women. You can't have none of these women. You got to choose an Israelite, which is a so-called black woman, right? Now, as we see all these wicked niggas that have bastards and strange women, right, that they have married, it says, "All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children." You can't get around that. There is nothing you can do to get around that right there. So if you marrying strange women, it don't matter what nation they are, and you having babies by them, they're abominations, and the Most High ain't dealing with them. That was according to the law. Y'all remember it said according to the law, right? Let's get that back in Ezra 10. Slakia. As we see in Ezra, verse 3, it says, "And let it be done," at the end of verse 3, right? "And let it be done," after the semicolon, it says, "And let it be done according to the law." Man, you can't get around that. So you got to explain to me, somebody got to explain to me, why are these campers out there, right? These folks that are in these camps, they're vehemently holding up the sign of the wicked, telling you that these folks right here are Israelites. when the Most High clearly said that if you mix with strange women, strange wives, not only are them children abomination, but you got to get rid of their ass. Slaka, you got to get rid of them, right? You got to get rid of the strange children that were born unto you, because what? They're a whole different race. They aren't Israelites.
Here you go. You know, here's another witness. You want something? Back that up.
Bring it out.
It's saying here. Let me give it to you straight. All right. Ecclesiasticus 26 or Wisdom of Solomon. It says, "My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers." Why do you think Ezra was so frustrated? Read that part again. "My son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength." It's talking about the seed to strangers. Because what is it? You know, we have the most powerful. It's proven that when people go to the sperm bank, what is the most famous sperm? Is the black sperm.
God.
It says, when thou gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
That's crazy. Right. Out of all
that's
the
what I don't
say.
Heathen. Do y'all see anywhere where it says sow it with a heathen seed? No, it says sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. I like the way how that's put like that, because it's telling you that we have the strongest seed line. Why would you want to take something that's superior to everything else and mix it with a weaker vessel? That's just crazy. It says, "So thy race which thou leadest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good." Man,
damn, that's a tough scripture.
Yeah, and you can't get around that, Israel. And I don't care if these camps are trying to justify. There's no way that they can justify this stuff. You cannot, even with Deuteronomy 21, you cannot justify it, because we're not in wartime. We're in captivity. So how can you even try to use Deuteronomy 21 to justify having seed through heathens? You just weakened your seed. It's like a slap in the face of the Most High. That's like an abomination to the Most High. I mean, it's a damn shame that you have to go through a weaker vessel, and you call yourself a commandment-keeping brother, and you're going to a weaker vessel to produce seed to try to please the Most High. That ain't gonna work.
You know what, Israel? Let's just think about it
for a minute. Just think about it for a minute. You got I want y'all to let this marinate for a minute. You got a brother that claims to keep the commandments. He's supposed to be loving the Most High with all his heart, mind, and soul. You go out and get you some heathen and have seed with that heathen. Totally create an abomination before the sight of the Most High. How do you think he's gonna feel? Why do you think Ezra was so frustrated? You know, when they had to get rid of all them heathen, their wives and the heathen children. Most High's not playing that, Israel. I mean, that's serious. And I know a lot of our people don't even look upon that. You know, Christianity, they teach that God loves everybody. All right. It's the same thing the camps are teaching. The camps are teaching that God loves everybody because they got every race on there. They got all the white folks on there.
God.
I mean, look at this stuff, y'all. This is what these camps are pushing. They're pushing that these are your people. They're forcing that upon you. They're telling you that you have to accept these people as Israelites. Hell, even these people will tell you they're not Israelites. And you know what's so crazy, man? I saw, it was a video, man. It was like 20 minutes long. I wish I'd have had it, man. I saw the guy from IUIC. He was trying so hard to convince this Mexican that he was an Israelite, man. This Mexican tore his ass up. He's like, I ain't no Israelite, man. He says, we are a mixture of Europeans, Native Americans.
You're stupid. Yeah.
You got a brother from IUIC still trying to convince that Mexican, man, that he's an Israelite. That just got to be the most shameful stuff, man, I've ever seen in my life.
Now, let me show something, right? I got something, Israel. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, right? As soon as this thing comes off. All right. Now, right, we got Michael Jordan, right? This brother right here, right? he is by far him, or whatever y'all want to say, right? But y'all know that the top basketball players, right, the top athletes of the world are our people, right? This is because that this is the only place that we get an even shot, right? Because they know that we are superior in this to the max level, and they put us on Front Straight doing this stuff. So let me ask you something, right? So if we got brothers that are doing amazing stuff like this, right? And then we got brothers that are doing this stuff. We don't have the heathens. They can't compete really when it comes to these sports. This is proving that our genetics are superior. Why would you mix them up with people that ain't win a damn thing, right? The fastest people are our people. Why would you mix them up with people that don't place, so they get second place or third place, right? You don't do that, right? You don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't do that, Israel. It does not make sense for our people to do things like that, right? Man, you see the greatness of our people, and then you turn around and then you be like, you know what? Let me try to mix with the nation that ain't won a damn thing, or a nation that's second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. Let me water down the seed, right? This is how we're doing it. And then we got these camps pushing this wicked doctrine. They telling you to water down your seed. They want you to get with Argentina. They want you to get with them dumpy, short Mexicans that are coming over here illegally. They want you to get with some of them. They said, you know what? That these are your people. Even though they 4 foot high, that these are good genetics for you to mix with. Are you kidding me right now, Israel? Is this what's really going on with our people? And then we got people following these niggas, hook, line, and sinker. And I meant to say nigga because these is niggas. Niggas is the ones that's going to take us to the pit. Niggas is the ones that caused us 40 years to wander in the desert. It's niggas. Niggas is the ones up there twerking on cars. Niggas is the ones being Pookies and Ray Rays. Right? Those have always been our enemy from day one. Is our own people. We cannot come together. You don't want to believe your brother. You don't want to study. You want to just twerk, talk about getting the bag and all types of damn wickedness. It's ridiculous, right?
Here's what happened to the Ezra's boys, all right? This is exactly a prime example. There's the imperfect branches is coming from Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, if y'all want to write it down, and verses 5 through 6. It says, the imperfect branches shall be broken off. What is that, imperfect branches? Let's see. Their fruit unprofitable, not right to eat, yea, meat for nothing. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witness against their parents in the day of trial. When Brother Eitan read that in Ezra, they had to get rid of their heathen wives and the children. Imperfect branches. All right. Camps pushing that you can mix with these heathens, imperfect branches. And they're creating these mamzers. And these mamzers are growing up confused as hell because they can't identify with being totally black. They can't identify with being white. Again, they're too black for white and too white for black. And this stuff was frowned, like back in the days, this stuff was frowned upon. This stuff was heavily frowned upon. You rarely, like me growing up, I rarely see too many mixed mamzers and stuff. You didn't really see a lot of that. But now, man, it's all over the place. It's rampant. It's like it's becoming the new black now.
I feel like they got that a curse on them, right? That curse of inclusion. For some reason, we just can't be our own people. I don't understand that. I was talking to a brother earlier today, right? I got a brother that I talked to. I was talking to him earlier today, and we were talking about how niggas, right? Because that's what I'm gonna call them. They would go into these white restaurants to get their ass beat just so they can sit down and eat some bland chicken with the white man. That's crazy to me. That's for what?
When you had your own restaurants, that was just disgusting, man.
It don't matter even if you didn't, you could just set up something at somebody's house or something and y'all could do it. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, we just begging for the approval of these damn heathen. These heathen which the Most High has called spittle.
Still doing it today. Man, I saw a brother, man. What was this? Man, I think I sent this. It was a while back ago. This brother went into this restaurant. It wasn't a restaurant. It was some kind of store that was owned by these damn Native Americans. All right.
Where at?
And I don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired.
Where at? Where's this at?
I forgot where it was. It was somewhere in the United States. But the woman was calling him all kinds of stuff, calling him the N word. This joker, man. Man, I'm so mad. This nigga talking about, I just want to buy something in here. Can I buy something in here? This woman cursing you out, calling you N-word, calling you everything else, but the child of the Most High, and you still begging to buy something out that store. I don't understand our people. I mean,
but that's the same spirit. If you look at it right, that's that same spirit of that damn chart. That's the same spirit. Because whenever you see them trying to teach these Hispanics or Native Americans or Seminole Indians or whatever have you, right? They don't really catch up. They don't catch on to the scripture.
That dude, you know what? That dude that was begging, he probably could have been part of IUIC. IUIC could have probably been one of these camps or something. Thinking that was his folks. While he's sitting there getting cursed out. I mean, the Most High, all through the Torah, Israel, the Most High tells us time after time. I mean, I got hundreds of verses. I got verses and verses all night. We can show you on this stuff. Just Joshua 23, verse 7. That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods. All right. What are we doing right now? Our people celebrate these holidays: Christmas, Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, and all these crazy holidays our people celebrate. It says, nor cause them to swear by them, neither serve them, nor by yourselves unto them, but cleave unto the Almighty, Lord, your God, as ye have done unto this day. All right? We were never, ever supposed to even get with these heathen nations. Now, you may say, well, the Most High brought us into slavery, and with Israel, regardless, we're in captivity. We're never, where in the scriptures does it say that it's because we're in captivity we're supposed to get with these damn heathens? You're not going to find that nowhere in the scriptures. All right? Always supposed to remain away from these heathens.
All right, Con. I want to show y'all something, right? I'm gonna go to Leviticus 25. Hold up, my screen is on. It's locked here. Let's go to Leviticus. I'm going to Leviticus 25, right? Now I want to show you guys something. All right, and this is kind of important, right? If you look at it, right? It says, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. The reason why I wanted to show you that, right? Well, I'm gonna keep on reading, right? It says, moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession, that they shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, and it makes a distinction here, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. Right? So the scriptures make a distinction and say that the heathen that are around about you, you can buy them. Right? These Mexicans over here, you can buy them. Right? You can buy all of these other nations and you can make slaves of them. That's what the scriptures say. So how is it possible for you to mix and match with people that are only mean to be slaves? And the Most High, and then all of a sudden, that's going to be a child of God. That's going to be an Israelite. Someone that can get the kingdom, that can get a body, a holy temple, a holy body that you can possess forever and live amongst the Lord. How is that possible?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have to break that down. If these other nations were built, right? These other nations were created to be the slaves of Israelites. How can you mate with one of them and all of a sudden you have a child of God? It does not make sense.
Impossible, and people, and people have done it so much, but to the point where it's become normal. become like a natural thing. That's what's sickening, you know. And even, you know, even let me see if I have this video real quick. I think we might have it in here. Feed. There was a one of the head guys of the ABC camps even said that chart was wrong. See if I can find it right quick.
We got thousands of brothers out there following that same doctrine, man.
Man, I wish I had that chart on here.
Thousands, right? How is it possible you have thousands of niggas? That's what it is, thinking the same thing. I mean, like, are they not reading the scriptures?
Yeah, go ahead, talk to them. Let me find this. Let me find this clip right quick.
Con, are they not paying attention to what's going on? The scriptures, the scriptures literally say that they are nothing, right? The scriptures say that these folks, Slack Israel. Let me see, right? The scriptures literally say that these folks are nothing. Oh man, you know, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, you know what? The Lord said, after these, Adam also, of him all we call, because we all come out of Adam, and the people who thou hast chosen, the Israelites. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for the Israelites, and for the other people which also come of Adam, the damn heathens, right? Thou hast said that they are nothing. How you gonna make with something that's nothing, and all of a sudden you think that's gonna be a child of God? But not only are they nothing, but they like spit, but be like unto spittle. And you still thinking that you're gonna be able to sleep with one of these damn heathens and call it a child of God? Are you kidding me? When on top of it being an abomination? Come on, Israel. Y'all got to get it together, man. We got to admonish these camps, and we got to rebuke them. Right? So they may remain sound in the faith. Right? The Most High says he has likened the abundance of them. That means all the damn heathens together. Right? So let's say you make all the Chinese, the Japanese, the white mans, the Africans, right? The Koreans, all these, you know what I'm saying, the Italians, so forth, the Europeans, all of these damn heathens, and you clump them together. And the Most High say they're like a drop that falleth from a vessel. Right? You don't care. You know what I'm saying? You don't care if you carrying water and all of a sudden just a small drop out. I mean, you don't give a crap about that. That's the way the Most High feels. He only put them in the power that they're in now because we don't obey. That's why they whooping our ass daily, because we don't obey. It's real simple. They even put the book for us to get it. They even gave us the book. They translated it for us. Right? Our people having a good time in America, and they believing in all of this stuff, but you don't got your own last name. You don't got a land to call your own. I'm sure they got your language in the vault somewhere because they know the paleo. I bet you they do. Because how else will they communicate with us? When we came off them slave ships, when we know on the slave manifest, we see Hebrew names. We didn't come off the ship with them big old lip rings and them cuts on our face like the Africans, because we're not African.
Now we're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, bring that out. Go ahead.
Okay. Now I want you to check this now. This is chief of the this is like one of the head guys of the ABC camps, and he was saying how this chart came about. All right. See, your camp's not going to play this video because they've been trying to hide this stuff for a long time now. But this stuff got out. So I want y'all to check this out. All right. It's not that long, but listen to it.
They said we're now going to hear from our elder and our teacher. And he'd stand up there and he'd start talking and say, and I can prove it with that book you got right there in your hand, you know. And anyway, that was a great experience. I went up there a couple times. And one time we were over there and they had the charts up. And they had the charts that said if you're Jamaican, you come from this tribe, and if you're from
okay, what's up right there? Now notice that now they didn't use one bit of scripture by doing that stuff. Some dude claimed he had a dream. All right, this is how stupid this stuff is. All right.
Barbados is that tribe, and boom, 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 boom. And read the book. Said, hey, come on, Pop. What is? You know that ain't right. He said, of course, Danny. I know that's not right. He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true.
See, they said that's how we get them into place and wire them up to what's true. You know, we know the real reason why they allow these heathens to come in. They started a 501c3. Now, if these heathens were smart enough, you know they can sue these camps. Y'all know that, right? Because if they discriminate against anybody outside of the Israelites, these folks can discriminate. And this is why these camps had to come up with this whole notion of saying that Hispanics, Native Americans, and all that stuff are Israelites. That's wicked. These folks know exactly what they're doing.
Because
Danny, I know that's not right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that because without the 50c3, if they wasn't under a 50c3, right? But because they are, that's why they have to tell them this stuff, right? Because they're running the business, Israel.
Exactly.
You see these camps out here; they got the little begging buckets out there, right? When the scriptures say, my son, lead not the life of a beggar, because it is better to die than to beg."
Got them out there selling water and everything. Then they got to go buy the water with their own money and then send up to headquarters.
Then you got brothers with PayPal up on their screen when they are up on there. They got a Cash App, all of this wickedness because they want you to pay.
Check this out.
He said, but that's the hook. That's how we get them into place, and we wire them up to what's true. Well, years later, after he passed away, and his sons and all of them, they either died or moved away, the Tanakh school began to teach those things as truth. This is the truth, and well, anyway, when we got cut loose by Chief Counsel, Princess Rivka, and my son and I, we kept Shabbat at home and all the holy days. And I didn't know where Bene Zarkain was, but I wanted to find them because that's where my teacher came from. And we had no roots. We were just...
See, all this stuff out of a man's, out of a man's own lust to bring in heathens. Knowing good and well that whole chart they came up with is completely false. And again, as I said, the challenge still stands. If anybody out there that wants to prove that chart to be accurate and in line with the scriptures, it's your time to come on. This is crazy, y'all. And this is what they're pushing. And the heads of these camps, they know this stuff. Like everything that we're telling you, they know on the low. They know, but because they don't fear the Most High, they do not fear the mighty Abba. They're gonna have to pay a heavy price for that if they don't repent. Like that brother Tazadakia who was claiming to be the God sent spirit. Well, he's been dead for a while now. And I guarantee you, if he didn't repent, I guarantee you he's not in the resting place of the righteous forefathers. It's not something to play with, Israel.
No, there's a
What you got, bro?
No, I got. Let me find it. It's in James. I'm trying. It's a book in James. I want to go to. It's 2:9. Yeah. Let me add to the stream.
But yeah, well, while you bring that up, okay, got it.
All right, right now, if anyone, right, you don't really hear brothers come out of the book of James too much, right? That's because the James is a cut. It's a cut section, session, right? You know what I'm saying? James 3:1. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Okay, before I go to 2, right? It says off the top, my brethren, be not many masters, meaning that we ain't supposed to have many teachers. It says, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. These niggas meaning that if you out there preaching the wrong thing, you're gonna get punished more. You best believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, right, but I wanted to go over this. James chapter 2, verse 9. It says, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Right? That means what? You ain't supposed to be following no nigga riding no horse and you down there on the ground. How is he, you know what I'm saying? Everything he doing is going to be some kind of wickedness up in there. Got you following 12 tribes chart and they marrying you in all white to a Mexican. That's an abomination. Old boy Ezra, he ripped off his beard and tore his mantle because that sin was so large. That sin was so great. But you got niggas in camps, they gonna marry you. They gonna marry you to one, right? You know what I'm saying? They gonna marry you to one. They say, you know what?
I've seen a brother in one of IUIC, man, that divorced his beautiful black, his Israelite wife, man, over some stupid stuff that he could, he didn't have no laws around to divorce him, and went after some Mexican woman.
Wow, man.
That's what they lust after, man. They lust after that stuff.
I'm gonna show y'all something, right? This is hold on, let me see if I can find this stupidness, right? Let me see. Salakia is real. Let me see. Yeah. Come on, man. Look at this man. This man. Oh my God. Passover with heathens. Good Lord have mercy. I just look at this.
What's happening?
Hold up, man. No, man. Let me show Israel, right? This is the kind of stuff, and I don't mean to hop on the brother, but damn, we got a lot of brothers, following this dude. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of brothers that are being misled right now. They just, they more the Christian churches, right? Sisters in there too. We're in the Passover, Israel. Come on, man. Let me ask you a question, right? Are you supposed to be around any heathens on the Passover? Are you supposed to be around any heathens on the Passover? And that's a no, a hell no, right? Now you're not even supposed to be around them, right? Unless they're your slaves or something like that. And these damn sure ain't no slaves, right? You're probably looking at that dude like he's some damn fool up there, riding up on a horse, and your other brothers are walking on the ground like you were leading some army. Those brothers are all. Let's see what the scriptures say, right? The scriptures are, like the scriptures are clear. It's like our people, they just don't read. But if ye have respects to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Because if you love your brother like you love yourself, every single brother be dressed the same, every single brother be riding up in gold, etc. Right? We only have one leader, and that's the Most High.
Sure.
Right? Hamashiach's going to come through, right? You know what I'm saying? He's also going to lead the charge while we're down here. But our God himself is Yahweh, the Most High. His son is Yahweh Shah. That's going to come and deliver us at the behest of his father. That has nothing to do with no niggas riding around on horses above their brother. Just like if I have any of my brothers or sisters on or whatever, man, I'm gonna treat them just like a regular person. I'm not gonna put myself above the crew or anything like that. If we happen to come for the Shabbat lesson or whatever, of course, Brother Daniel and myself would have made a lesson, and then we'll teach or whatever, and then we have other brothers that know the doctrine just as well, and that they want something to bring out. Hey, bring it out, brother. We're all the same. Right, we're all on the same level. Not one brother, no brother is greater than another. If you want to treat your brothers, you want to treat yourself.
Just because you got a little money, and the scriptures warn you that. Say to this person who have on these nice clothing, sit here or sit there. We're not supposed to be showing no respect to a person like that. Showing favoritism to a man. You got one man ruling over you. See, that's the problem. We went with kings. We weren't supposed to have kings. We were not supposed to have kings. Because of the wickedness of the heart of our people, they wanted to be like the other nations. So the Most High says, okay, you're going to be kings, you're going to have to pick somebody of your brethren. And that went south when they tried to put a manager on the throne. That's when the kingdom split. You know, it's just it's crazy. It's every time we want to be like the other nations, that's when we start to fall apart.
State your cause, Israel.
Yeah.
Right. If we don't have any, I don't know. You know, we was hoping that we'll try to get some detractors, right? Somebody that wanted to, you know, go, but it looks like we have a solid base. All praises to the Most High for that, right? Don't forget what we said to the beginning of the show, Israel, right? We want your photos, right? Send in pictures, brothers, sisters, children, whatever you working with, right? Send them in wearing those fringes, right? So we can go ahead and put you on the channel.
There you go.
All right, Israel, we got to show that over here we keep the commandments, right? You know, you can show something in your everyday outfit or something you got fringes on. That's cool too, right? Or just whatever you got. You know, take a picture of you with some fringes on. You know, if you feel shy, you don't want your face on there. Just you know, just like hold up your fringes and be like, look, I got fringes on. You know what I'm saying? Just show what you got, right? That's what you do to the people. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll put you up, and we want to show folks that over here, you know, we keep the commandments, right? We might make this an every 3-month thing. You know, every 90 days, you know, brothers showing pictures, and then, you know, we'll show an update. Because hopefully we get more and more brothers and sisters, you know, and their families, and brothers with families and whatnot, you know, sending in photos with them and their fringes on, so we can go ahead and post it online, right?
And guess what? Me and brother Eitan, me and brother Eitan will throw our fringes in there too.
Oh, all day long.
We'll put our photos with yours, all right?
I rock fringes daily.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Israel. We was wanting this to be an open forum, so we hadn't planned to do this much talking, but you know how it goes sometimes when the spirit moves and everything. We really wanted to come on. So this tells us that majority of you all in here have been faithfully following us for a good minute. And again, Israel, you know, being in this long, it should be common goal, or it should be your ultimate goal to keep these laws, commandments, and statutes. And the first thing to do is do those things that's within your power, and that's keeping these laws, getting your fringes. And I'm gonna tell you a story, Israel. Like I didn't waste no time. All right, years ago, I didn't waste no time. Look, I had one shirt sold on for me, and I said after that, I'm sewing my own stuff on. I went and got me a sewing machine. I looked up some classes on YouTube, which was really easy, you know, and bam, I sold all my stuff on. I still got my sewing machine. I'll still sew whenever I need to get a new shirt or something like that, where I need to sew some fringes on there. Bam, I got the point where I can sew fringes within 20 minutes now. It took me long at all, professionally, you know. But you know, it just, you have to want it, Israel. Like I can only speak for myself. All right? I can't speak for everybody. I know that fire burning in me that wants to keep the laws with all my heart, mind, and soul. I don't think everybody has that, but again, I can only speak for myself, Israel. I got that fire, you know. That fire has been burning me ever since, you know. This is why me and brother Eitan do what we do. All right, we're not going to stop as long as we got breath in us. So, we just want this to be an encouragement to you all, because Israel, we got to start stepping up. All right, we got to stop half stepping. And like brother Eitan said earlier, you know, the only way, if you don't wear your fringes, how can we then identify you? Like, I'm out all the time, and I see brothers, I see sisters all the time, but I don't know if they're woke. I don't know if they're keeping the laws or not, because I don't see no fringes on there. Apparently not. But you know, that's a good way to identify one another. You know, it'd be like our own kind of code or something. You know, like, hey, okay, I got you. You know, all right, you're doing the work. So you know, that's the way to identify one another. You know? Most High says that we are a peculiar people. We are a set apart people. He has set us apart above all nations. So it's time to start acting like it. You know, we are royalty. When you start acting like it, you start doing the work, Israel. It's simple, not hard. You know, it's just that, I mean, again, I can't speak for your minds, and I don't know what goes on through your minds or anything like that. But if you've been with us for over at least 3 years, there should not be one person without fringes on them right now. Not one.
You know what? Let me say, hold on. Let me go back to that question. There was a comment. I saw a comment, and that was from Brother Huey Van Diver. All right. Quick question, Akim. There are brews that believe that the translation of fringe means hemmed, SP with a ribbon of blue. Thoughts? Yeah, I got a couple of thoughts on that. Well, just one really. If you go to the what is those the Russian icons, right? If you go to a lot of those pictures and you look at what they had, it was the same thing that we have on, right? Fringes with the border of blue, right? They had a fringe, like real, like, you know, fringes. That's what it was. It wasn't had nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, brothers, they're always trying to do something because they don't want to look different. They want to try to blend in with the heathen, right? And that's the kind of mind frame of brothers that are trying to blend in with the heathen. Because if you go back and you look at the ancient paintings, right, of our people, or the ones that, you know, look like us, they got woolly hair and the fringes on there, and they have fringes on. I mean, like literal, you know, it's a fringe, just like I showed you that I got on, or Brother Daniel have on, or whatever we wear today, right? It's the same thing. And it's not no zeets or none of that stupidness where you got that, you know, one on each corner, foolishness like that. No, it's, you know,
and if you want to read
all around.
further, yeah, if you want to read further into this tabernacle in Exodus, when they started first building the tabernacle, the curtains. Now, prime example. The bottom of the curtains were the same thing. The bottom of the curtains were the hem of blue. We'll have to do a lesson on this one day, so we can get really deep. But the priests, their garments represented the curtains. Okay. Now, I know some people have done some research, and I've heard some people say that, you know, those fringes are wicked, but nobody's been able to show in the scripture, okay, what it's truly supposed to look like. But we do know that a fringe means any kind of stringed vessel that attached to the garment and that comes down to a certain length. All right, that's the true definition of a fringe. So when you look at the curtains of the tabernacle, they were exactly how we were supposed to wear our fringes on our shirts. You had the border of blue, and then you had the fringes on the curtains. Read it. Not too many people study the tabernacle as well. All the curtains had fringes on them, which is pretty. I think it's pretty amazing. And each fringe represents some kind of, and just like the scripture says in the numbers, you know, the fringe are supposed to represent the commandments. All right. The border of blue. When you study the blue always represented obedience in the scriptures. That's why. So you can have you have to have the border of blue has to be blue, but the fringes can be any color you want them to be. So that's why, like for example, I'll stand up and show you. So when you look at camera right here, when you look at the border of blue, you see the border of blue, and you see the fringe and everything. So when you look at the curtains, now some fringes are different, but I like these type of fringes because they represent curtains more than the other string fringes. Like I said, I do have the other string fringes, but I just tend to like these better because they just, me, you know, I like the style of them because more like the curtains of the tabernacle. So when you really get into that, Israel, and you begin to study those items like that, you know, you begin to see, okay, wow, now I see why, you know, we are to really obey the commandments.
Right. Con. All praise. I'm looking this one. All right, Israel. Salakia. Right. Remember also in the scriptures where the woman had issue of blood for, was it 12 years or whatever it was? Right. She had an issue of blood, meaning that she couldn't stop bleeding. Right. I guess her period was just, or whatever the case may be, she had something like that, but except she just couldn't stop bleeding. And she touched the hem of Hamashiach's his garment in order to be healed. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, you know, throughout a multitude of people that was flocking around him. I'm pretty sure, you know, it had to be something that, you know, she could, like, you know what I'm saying, like grab onto. Let me see something. I can't see that.
Give me a second too. I'm gonna get another shirt too, so I can kind of show you.
Oh, where is that picture I just had? Oh, they got a heathen with fringes on. I don't want y'all to see that.
Can y'all see that, Israel? I'm gonna try to put it up to the camera. So when I studied the tabernacle, I studied how the curtains look and stuff. There isn't no curtains and stuff.
John.
Like I said, the fringes can be any colors, but the border of the blue is gonna always be the same gonna always be the same color.
Oh, let me see. I got white, gray, and black. Those are my favorite colors, really. You know what I'm saying? Something simple.
Oh
I
yeah,
got a couple gold ones too, but
yeah, me too. Most of mine are gold. I got a few white ones, black ones.
yeah, most of my fringes are gray and white.
Yeah.
They match with anything.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Most things, anyways. Well, Israel,
Yeah.
any other questions? Any other concerns? If not, looks like we didn't have any detractors today. So all praises to the Most High, really, for that. Make sure it seems like our people are waking up, besides the ones that are in the camps. Yeah, but let's just, let's pray for our brothers that are in those camps, right? We got to pray for them, that maybe they'll come out of this, come out of that folly, right? Come out of that unclean spirit. We got to pray for them. They got wolves in sheep's clothing, praying on them. Got them marrying heathen women, trying to, sully the seed of the Most High, right? Called abomination on our people. That we're going to continue these curses that are going to keep getting heaped upon our head because we got these wicked niggas that just don't get it, right? So we got to pray. We got to pray for our folks.
And a lot of people are waking up in these camps. I've heard the testimonies. When I did a whole series on the camps. If you go to my playlist, and Brother Aton has done some stuff on them as well too. But if you go to my playlist under Blasphemous European chart and everything, you'll see all the lessons I've done on the camps. And I've had a lot of brothers that woke up from that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? And if we can get more brothers to wake up out of that stuff and come on out of there, shut them down. Just like these churches. Shut them down.
Shut them down.
Out of these churches. If they ain't got nobody to give them money, they can't keep their stuff running. So.
Yeah, they ain't gonna like that, Doc. They ain't gonna like that.
Perfect. Little by little. They need robots. They need robots to keep their joint alive. They need the robots to keep giving them money so they can keep spreading them lies like that. They can keep telling you that it's okay to get with the heathens and telling these heathens they're Israelites.
Huh. Yeah. You gotta give alms so you can step up in the camp.
Yep.
Remember that right there.
If you want to go higher in rank, if you want to get a higher rank, you gotta get it. More money you get, you can buy your position.
Yeah, how you gonna give alms to your brother? I mean, like you give alms to the poor, and you give alms, right, to the homeless, right? Those are the folks that you give alms to. You don't give alms. That would just be like me, Brother Daniel telling me, "Hey, brother, you gotta give me alms." What? Nigga, get your ass a job. This stuff is wicked, man. I don't know what's going on out here, right? Giving you alms. Are you kidding me, man? That stuff is crazy to me. And then brothers don't, man. I would have beat. I'm sorry, no, I don't mean that slocky, right? But man, hey, I can't take it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to try to play me and telling me I'm gonna have to pay you for me to rise up in the ranks. What in the world? What kind of wickedness is that? I mean, like that whole program is wicked as hell. I don't know. Slocky is right. I don't mean to go off on a tangent. Any more questions, concerns?
But you know what? It's gonna cave in on itself. It's gonna bleed out.
God. All right, I don't got no more out.
But that's it, Israel. But hey, we're gonna get back, let you all enjoy the Shabbat. Gonna bid y'all Shabbat Shalom.
That's right.
Stay strong.
Shabbat Shalom and stay strong, Israel.
Yeah.